normal forms that is discussed in the brief in the previous lecture. So today I am continuing with the same. Uh, what is the objective of learning same? We will be able to learn various forms in DBMS so that we can remove the redundancy that is present in the DBMS. So that is why we are supposed to use various normal forms in database management system. So coming to the main point, that is what are normal forms, why we are supposed to use normal forms. So the main concern is in order to remove the redundancy, that is the redundant data is present everywhere in DBMS system. So after, if we are supposed to refer to the same data, then there could be certain cases that we are supposed to deal with various redundant data. Then if we are dealing with the redundant data, then it could lead to the inconsistencies that are present in the system. So in this way, it could lead to the difficult handling of the system. So we are supposed to overcome this problem. So it is possible with the help of normal forms that we are going to discuss in today's class. So it could be first normal form, second normal form, third normal form. It could be BCNF, that is Boyce code normal form. So we are going to have a look at all the normal forms with the concept of functional dependency that is being present, because we have discussed the concept of functional dependency in the previous class. Now coming to the main topic, that is normal form. So what is basically a normal form? There are various points that are that have been given regarding normal form. You can have a look at the same. The normal form is based on functional dependency. It could be first normal form. It could be first normal form, that is 1F, 1NF, second normal form 2NF, third normal form 3NF, and BCNF, that is Boyce code normal form. So these forms have increasingly restrictive requirements, because you know why they are, why the term restricted is used, because you know every normal form is presenting various rules. Like if I am saying I am using first normal form, then it means that there are certain rules that could exist in second normal form that are having relation with the first normal form, and same is the case with third normal form, same is the case with BCNF, or it is also called fourth normal form. So we are supposed to consider the same. So if I am talking about normal forms in TMS, then what is basically normalization? This is the term that I am going to use. That is, what is normalization? Before discussing about the normal forms, I am supposed to discuss about normalization. But before discussing about normalization, what is the prerequisite for the same? So it could be database normalization and functional dependency concept. So we are supposed to have a information about, or I can say basics. We must have learned basics about functional dependency. What is functional dependency? What is database normalization? So coming to the main point, what is normalization? Normalization is to minimize the redundant data, or I can say to minimize the redundancy that is present in the relation, from a relation or a set of relation. So redundancy in relation may cause insertion, deletion, and updation anomalies. So it helps to minimize the redundancy in relations. So normal forms are used to eliminate or reduce redundancy that is present in database tables. So coming to the first point, that is we are concerned with various points. The forms have increasingly restrictive requirements. So every relationship in, what is the restrictive requirement? So this is mentioned here. Every relation in BCNF is also in 3NF, and every relation in 3NF is also in 2NF, and every relation in 2NF is in 1NF. Why I am saying so? Because there are certain conditions that it has set, and we are supposed to meet those requirements in accordance with them. So it is, our relation is in the first normal form. Now there is a condition that is being given. If is a condition, if every field contain only atomic values, Every field can contain only atomic values, that is not list or sets. Atomic values could be there. So this requirement is implicitly defined, or it is implicitly concerned with the relational database model. Although some of the new database systems are relaxing this requirement, mean to say this requirement is generally omitted in new database management systems. But 2NF is mainly of the historical interest. That is, 3NF and BSCNF are important from a database design and standpoint. So these are the points that you are supposed to consider while you are drawing normal forms. So coming to the main question, what is normal form? What is normal form? So returning to the issue of schema refinement. Returning to the issue of schema refinement. Schema refinement means to say I am supposed to refine the structure of the database. So the first question to ask is whether any refinement is actually needed or not. Then there is a question, that is if a relation is in a certain normal form, it could be BCNF, it could be 3NF. So it is known that certain kinds of problems are avoided or minimized, and it can be used to help us decide whether decomposing the relation will help or not. So, what is the role of functional dependency in detecting redundancy here? We are supposed to consider a relation R. There could be three attributes, that is A, B, and C. So, what is the interpretation of those three attributes? So, you are supposed to have a look at the same. No functional dependency hold. This is my first point. So, what is the interpretation for the same? That is no functional dependency hold. That is, there is no why it is functional dependence? Mean to say one attribute is dependent on the another attribute, because there is some data that is available in first attribute and it has to match the data that is present in the dependent data, that is A is deriving B. Mean to say there is some common ground, or I can say that there is some common data that both attributes are sharing. That is why we can hold the concept of functional dependency here. So if there is no hold of functional dependency, it means there is no redundancy that is present in the data. Mean to say there is no repetition of data that is being present. So next is if A is deriving B. Now functional dependency hold, obviously, because I am concerned with only 2 points. If it hold or if it does not hold. If it hold, then there could be redundancy, that might be the case. So what is the interpretation for the same? That several tuples could have the same A value. Now try to understand the term, that is several tuples. Many tuples could be there. Many rows could be there that could be having the same A value. Mean to say there could be a duplicacy of the value. And if so, they will all be having the same value B as well. So that is why there exists redundant data. Now we are concerned with removing the redundancy by using normal forms. So we are present with three normal forms, or I can say four normal forms. 1, 2, 3. In addition, there is BCNF. Now coming to the main point of discussion, we are going to discuss about various normal forms. First, we are supposed to have a look at the first normal form. Now, what is first normal form? There are certain conditions that are associated with first normal form. So, what are those? Have a look at same. A relation R is in 1NF. A relation could be in 1NF if and only if now there is a condition that is being defined why it is in 1NF. If it has only single valued attribute, because 1NF is concerned with atomic values. For example, employee project, so social security number, phone number. that is underlined. Hours, e-name, that is employee name, p-name, project name, project location. That could be there. So social security number is atomic value. P number is atomic value, project number. Next is P location is not in 1NF because multi-valued attribute is there. So solution is to decompose the relation. How we can decompose the relation? Mean to say we are supposed to convert it into sub relations. So employee project 2 where there is a attribute that is social security number, project number, hours, e-name, p-name, location, and location is further divided into p number and p location. Now it is in one normal form. So again have a look at the conditions that are being specified for first normal form. Again I am repeating the same slide. A relation is in one NF if it has only single value attribute, that is atomic values. Have a look at the example. If you are having any query regarding same, you can ask me. Now the main point of concern regarding first NF is if a relation contain composite or multi-valued attribute, because it is violating the condition of the first normal form, because first normal form is associated with atomic values. So it violates first normal form or a relation in its first normal form if it does not contain any composite or multi-valued attribute. So a relation is in the first normal form if every attribute in that relation is single valued attribute. Now I can give you any example. Relation student in table number. I can share you a table. Just wait. I can share you a table. Just wait. I am showing you practically. Look at the example. Now have a look at the same. So this is the example. Relation student in table number 1. Two tables are given. It is not in 1NF because of the multi-valued attribute student phone number. And its decomposition into 1NF has been shown in the table number 2. This table is converted into table that is holding the condition true for the first normal form, but it is violating the condition of the first normal form. Now here you can have a look at the student number 123, student name Ram Suresh. There could be a student who is having, there could be students who are having same name, but their number is different. Now student phone number, student phone number. So here it is representing two phone numbers. So there could be it could be multi-valued attribute. State could be this, and country could be this. Now, if I am supposed to convert the same into the four tuples, then it could satisfy the condition of the first normal form. So this is how first normal form actually works. Again, I am repeating, there are certain conditions that are associated with first normal form. So what are those? A relation is in 1NF if and only if it has single valued attribute. No atomic values are there. It is not the case that it is consist of multi-value attribute. So have a look at the example, employee project number 1 and employee project number 2. In employee project, we are presented with the multi-valued attribute, that is p location. So that is why we have converted that p location into p number and p location. So in this way it is converted into first normal form. So this is the criteria that is being used for normal forms and especially for the first normal form. You can have a look at the example too. If you are having any query, then you can ask me any question. Now moving forward, that is second normal form. Yes. So this is second normal form. What is there in second normal form? So there are certain conditions that are associated with second normal form. A relation are in 2NF if and only if it is in 1NF, and every known key column depends on a key that is not a subset of a key. Second is all known prime attributes of R must be fully functionally dependent on a whole key of the relation, not a part of the key. And third is no violation, that is single attribute key or no known prime attribute could be there. So if you want to have a look at the interpretation, or I can say practical aspects of the second normal form, then it could be, just have a look at the same. So what actually it is saying in second normal form, to be in a second normal form, there is a condition, it should be in first normal form, and relation must not contain any partial dependency mean to say there is a slight dependency of first attribute on second attribute exist. So we are supposed to remove the concept of partial dependency here, that is no known prime attribute is dependent on any proper subset of any candidate of the key of the table. So what is partial dependency here? If the proper subset of candidate key determines non-prime attribute, then it is called partial dependency. Now you can have a look at the example. So this could be your example. So have a look at the same. Consider table number 3 as following below. So this is student number, course number and course fee that is being given. Now there are many courses having the same course fee. There are many courses which are having the same course fee. So course fee cannot alone decide the value of course number or student number. Similarly, course fee together with the student number cannot decide the value of course number. Again, course fee together with the course number cannot decide the value of student number. Hence, what would be the output? Course fee would be a non-prime attribute as it does not belong to the one candidate key. For example, student number, course number. But course number is deriving course fee. That is, course fee is dependent on the course number. So which is the proper subset of the candidate key. Non-prime attribute course fee is dependent on the proper subset of the candidate key, which is partial dependency, and so this relation is not in 2NF. Now, to convert the above relation into 2NF, we are supposed to consider a table number 1 and table number 2. I am showing you the example here. Just have a look at the same. These are the mathematical interpretations for the relation. To convert the above relation, that is this relation, into 2NF, we are supposed to consider various points. We need to split the table into two tables. Table number 1, student number, course number. Table number 2, course number, because one attribute will remain the same. And second is course fee. Now, there is one note regarding same, that 2NF, 2NF, that is second normal form, tries to reduce the redundant data getting stored in the memory. Because, for example, if there are 100 students that are taking C1 courses, if there are 100 students that are taking C1 courses, then we don't need to store its fee as 1000 for all the 1000 records. So instead, once we can store it in the second table as the course fee for C1 is 1000. So there is another example that is being given for your reference. You can have a look at the same. Now have a look at the same. I am just enlarging it. Now see the another example. If you do not understand the first example, consider the following functional dependencies in a relation where four attributes are given, that is A, B, C and D. Now there is a functional dependency that is being defined here. AB is deriving C, that is A and B together determine C. B and C together determine D. Now in the above relation, AB is the only candidate key and there is no partial dependency because AB combined is the candidate key. That is, any proper subset of AB does not determine any non-prime attribute. So that is why it is considered as the 2NF relation. Now, if you are having any query regarding same, you can ask me. Again, I am repeating second normal form. So have a look at the same. So there are certain rules. You can have a look at the same. Every relation R in 2NF if it is in 1NF, and every non-key column depends on a key that is not a subset of a key. In addition, all non-prime attributes of R must be fully functionally dependent on the whole key of the relation, not a part of the key. And third is no violation, that is single attribute key or no non-prime attribute. So these are the certain interpretations by using the example that we have used in first normal form. Have a look at the same. So this is the second normal form, violation. Where violation happens, that is a part of the key that is representing the known key. Where employee project 2, which is having social security number, project number, hours, e-name, p-name as attributes. Social security number is deriving e-name, p number is deriving p-name. So the solution could be, we are supposed to decompose the relation. Again, in first normal form, we have decomposed into the employee project 2. And in second normal form, we are again, in order to satisfy the second normal form, we are supposed to convert the project 2 into the project 3. So how we are supposed to decompose the relation? That is SSN number, P number, hours, employee. Third, second table is employee, which is having SSN number, employee number, and third is project, which is having P number and P name. So in this way, I can say that this relation is in the second normal form. So here is the mathematical example that is being given for your reference. You can have a look at the same. So this is the example that is violating the condition of 2 and F. So there is a student number that is being given here. So the course number is given here and course fee is given here. So these are the interpretations for each attribute that is being used here. Course fee cannot alone decide the course number or the student number. Course fee together with the student number cannot decide the value of course number. So course fee together with the course number cannot decide the value of student number. So what we have concluded that course fee would be a non-prime attribute as it does not belong to the one only candidate key, that is student number or course number. But course number that is deriving course fee, that is course fee is dependent on course number. So we are supposed to convert it into the normal form, that is second normal forms. So we are converting it into the two tables, that is student number and course number. Second number table is containing two attributes, that is course number and course fee. So this is the interpretation of the second normal form. So if you are having any query, you can ask me any query. So next is the second example that is being given for your reference. So here you can determine the relation or with the help of the functional dependencies that are being presented here. That is AB can determine C but together both attributes. BC both can determine D. So this is the interpretation for the same. You can have a look at the same. R is the relation in which there are four attributes and this is the functional dependency that is being defined here. So next we are moving to the third normal form. What is there in third normal form? Now if I am talking about the third normal form, um, there are certain conditions that are associated with third normal form. That is a relation R in 3 and F. A relation could be in 3 and F, but if it is satisfying some conditions, if and only if it is in 2 and F, and every non-key column does not depend on another non-key column. Second condition is all non-prime attributes of R must be non-transitively functionally dependent on a key of the relation. And third is violation, that is known key, that is deriving known key. For example, it is given in the figure 14.10, that is 2 and F and 3 and F normalization. Just let me have a look at the same if it is given. So this is about third normal form. Again, I am repeating the steps. A relation is in third normal form if there is no transitive dependency from non-prime attributes as well as it is in the second normal form. Second main point is a relation is in the 3 and F if at least one of the following conditions holds in every non-trivial function dependency, that is X is deriving Y. So what could be those conditions? That is X is a super key and Y is a prime attribute. Y is a prime attribute mean to say each element of Y is part of some kind of candidate key. Now you are supposed to look at the table. I am going to show you the same. I'm enlarging the picture so that you can easily understand. So these are the five attributes that are defined here: student number, student name, student state, student country, student age. So student number is 1, student name is Ram, student state is Haryana, student country is India, and student age is 20. So second entry is student name is, oh sorry, number is second, name is again same, state is Punjab, country is India, and age is 19. So there is a third entry. Name is Suresh, state is Punjab, country is India, and age is 21. Now, if we are supposed to have a look at the transitive dependency, mean to say, if A is, let's understand the difference with the help of the logic. Now, if I am saying that A is deriving B and B is deriving C, these are two functional dependencies. A is deriving B. I told you the same concept yesterday. If A is deriving B and B is deriving C, so it is directly derived, or I can say deduced that A is deriving C. So it is called transitive dependency. We have learned three axioms yesterday: reflexive, transitive, in addition, augmentive. Augmentive was there. Now I am talking about transitive here. Transitive was concerned with if A is deriving B and B is deriving C, then it is the case that A is deriving C. So that is called transitive dependency. Now I am going to give you an example. Look at the table that is given in the uh, picture, that is relation student given in the table number 4. Now you can obtain a functional dependency set. How? You can have a look at all the attributes that are being given there. Student number is deriving student name, student number is deriving student state, and further student state is deriving student country, and again student number is deriving student age. So the candidate key is student number. So for this relation in which student number is deriving student state and student state is deriving student country, that are true. So student country is transitively dependent on student number and it violates the third normal form. How? Because to convert it into the third normal form, we will decompose the relation student. How? Student number, student name, student phone, student state, student country, student age. It could be represented as student, where there are various attributes: student number, student name, student phone number, student state, student age could be there. But student, oh sorry, state country could be associated with state and country. State and country. Now this is satisfying all the conditions of the third normal form. There is a second example that will be given here for your reference. If you want to have a look at the same, you can have a look. Just wait, I am giving you the reference of the example. Now have a look at the same interpretation that I have discussed so far. So this is the example number 2. Consider any relation R in which there are five attributes A, B, C, sorry, D and E. So A is deriving BC, CD. The CD collectively determine E, B is deriving D, and E is deriving A. So all the possible candidate keys in the above relation are A, E, C, D, B, C. So all the attributes are on the right side of all the functional dependencies that are prime. So this is about functional dependency that is to be there in third normal form. So if you are having any confusion regarding same, you can ask me any question. And I am moving to the last normal form that is BCNF. Now what is there in BCNF? What is there in BCNF? So a relation is in BCNF if it is in the third normal form and for every functional dependency. Left hand side is super key and a relation is in BCNF if and only if in every non-trivial functional dependency in which X is deriving Y and X is a super key. Again, I am saying X is a super key. So there is one example that is being given for your reference. So you are supposed to find the highest normal form for a relation R, which is given with five attributes A, B, C, D, E with functional dependency. BC is deriving D, AC is deriving BE, and B is deriving E. So again, I can show you an example. So this is the example that is given for your reference. Find the highest normal form of a relation R. There are five attributes with functional dependency. BC is deriving D, AC is deriving BE, and B is deriving E. So there is a step one that is AC plus, AC plus, which is concerned with A, C, B, E, and D. But none of its subsets can determine all the attributes of a relation. So AC will be a candidate key. A or C can't be derived from any other attribute of the relation. So there will be only one candidate key that is AC. That is AC. So next there is a step 2 that is being given here. That is prime attributes are those attributes which are the part of the candidate key AC. So in this example and others will be non-prime that is BD. So in this example we are going to consider the third step. That is the relation is in the first normal form as relational DBMS does not allow multi-valued or composite attributes. So a relation is in the second normal form because BC is deriving D is in the second normal form. BC is not a proper subset of the candidate key AC and AC is deriving further BE. So it is in the second normal form. So AC is a candidate key and B is deriving E. That is in the second normal form. And B is not a proper subset of a candidate key AC. So I can say that the relation is not in the third normal form. Why? Because in BC, that is deriving D. Neither BC is the proper subset, or I can say super key, nor D is a prime attribute. And in B, that is deriving E, neither B is the super key nor E is a prime attribute. But if we are supposed to satisfy the third normal form, either LHS, that is left hand side of an FD, should be super key, or right hand side should be prime attribute. So this could be the case. So the highest normal form of the relation could be second normal form. Second normal form. For example, let's say layman example. You can take any layman example. If I am talking about any relation R, and it is having three attributes, that is A, B, C, and I can say that A is deriving BC, A is deriving BC, then B is deriving what? It means A and B both are super keys. So the relation is in the BCNF. So what are the key points that we are supposed to remember while we are concerning about the BCNF? That is, there are some points. That is, BCNF is free from redundancy, because we are dealing with redundancy here. Second is, if a relation is in BCNF, then 3NF is also satisfied. Third is, if all the attributes of relation are prime attributes, then the relation is always in 3NF. Fourth is, a relation in a DBMS, or I can say relational database, is always and at least in one normal form. And fifth is, every binary relationship, that is a relationship with only two attributes, it is always in BCN. Sixth is, if a relation has only single candidate key, that is every candidate key consists of only one attribute, then relation is always in 2NF, because no partial functional dependency is possible, and it is concerned with partial functional dependency. Seventh point is, sometimes going for BCNF form may not preserve functional dependency. So in that case, we are supposed to go with the BCNF only if the lowest FD is not required, else we are supposed to normalize till 3 and F only. And last point is, there are many normal forms that exist after BCNF, like 4NNF and more. But in real world database system, it is generally not required to go beyond BCNF. So this was all about your today's class. If you are having any query regarding same, you can ask me any question. We have discussed normal forms today. First normal form, there are various rules that are associated with first normal form, and you are supposed to satisfy the conditions for the same. Second normal form, there are certain rules that are associated with second normal form, and you are supposed to satisfy various rules that are associated with second normal form. First normal form is concerned with atomicity, second is concerned with partial dependency, and third normal form, there are certain rules that are associated with third normal form. So here we are supposed to follow the rule of transitivity. So next is BCNF. We have discussed so far. That is Boyle's code normal form. So there are certain rules that are associated with BCNF. So this was all about my today's lecture. If you are having any query, you can ask me any question. So next is, a book is given for your reference. It is a book by code that is available in the college library. You can get it issued from the library and have a look at same. So there is a quiz that is given for your reference for the today's lecture. There are 10 questions that are given, and you are supposed to do all the 10 questions at the end of the lecture and submit me the answer on my email ID. Each question is having four options, and you are supposed to tick any one answer. So have a look at all the questions one by one. So these are the 10 questions. So this was all about my today's lecture. I'm winding this session up. Thank you. Have a nice day.